Hello, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl, Kamie Crawford. And today, I know y'all broke your ankles running to this episode. You broke out into a hot sweat. You sweat your edges out for sure. Running to this episode for the tea. And I get it because I am you. You are me. I would be doing the same. If you can't tell by the title, and if you haven't been following me on social media to see my statement this week, then maybe you wouldn't know. But in case you don't know, I quit my job. I decided to leave Catfish after 6 years and over 100 episodes. And I have a lot of feelings about it. The reality is, I came into recording this episode today with a lot of anxiety and a little bit of uncertainty of exactly how I wanted to speak about this, how I wanted to address it. I knew that I wanted to talk about this on my podcast and my outlet and my platform, because I feel that when you allow some media outlets and things like that to take your story, they kind of run with it and it becomes something that it's not. I wanted you guys to hear straight from the horse's mouth and hear directly from me. And this is my platform. This is my space. And if you've been following me for long enough and you've known me for long enough and you've been listening to this podcast for long enough, then you know me. And I have been seeing your comments and I've been seeing your DMs and your concerns and your outpouring of love, which I probably should have started this episode off with. I love you all so much and I appreciate you so much, truly, from the bottom of my heart. Coming into a show that people know and love, and as much as I do and did at the time when I got the opportunity, coming into a show and being somebody's quote unquote replacement, which like I never saw myself as anybody's replacement. I just wanted to do the best that I could. It was big shoes to fill. I wanted to make people proud and make people feel good about themselves. That's the only thing that I've ever wanted to do ever in my life, in anything that I've done. And if you've been following along, you know that I've been in and around the industry since I was 17 years old when I was Crown Miss Teen USA. And then after that, it just kind of kept going. I got the opportunity to be the co-host of Catfish in 2018. And it was my big break. It was the best thing to ever happen to me. I was so excited and so honored, but I also knew the gravity of what I was getting myself into because I too watched the show and I too loved that dynamic. And I was like, there can be nothing but this. Like, this is it. And, you know, when I came into it, I knew that people were going to have their reservations. It's like, who are you? What is this? What can you bring? And I feel that I have more than proven myself. And, you know, everybody's not going to like it. And that's perfectly fine by me. Perfectly fine by me. I liked it. And there are a lot more people that loved me being a part of the show than didn't. I would probably place my bets on that. And I appreciate that so, so much. And I never will ever take that for granted ever in my life. And like I said, this is a decision that took for me to actually make. I thought about it very, very carefully. I thought about it. I prayed about it. I cried about it. I can't even tell you how much I cried about it. It was not an easy decision, but it was a decision that I had to make. I've seen the rumors swirling. I've seen the conversations being had. I've seen the conspiracy theories. I too have access to Reddit, bitch. I can see Reddit. I know what y'all are talking about. And I'll be reading this shit like, who's telling y'all this? Who is coming up with these situations in their mind, like these hypotheticals, and running with it? It's like a whole thing. And I, again, have access to the internet. So I know how things can be misconstrued, manipulated. It's like a game of telephone. Somebody says something once and then it just like goes. As much as I've wanted to directly respond, I didn't feel that that was what was best. But I get it. I get why the conversations are happening, because I would be having the same conversations. But I'm also so fucking proud of myself for making decisions that are best for me. There hasn't been a situation or a relationship that I have let go that I have ever regretted. And I can stand on that. I feel very much like I am stepping into my power. And, being in my 30s now, like, this shit is not a game, y'all. Y'all swirling around with these hypotheticals and situations is not true. Okay. And I feel very, very, very grateful and honored to have been in the positions that I've been in, to have had that job, to be a part of a network that appreciates me and values me and understood and valued when I said that I needed to be done. You can't beat that. So with that being said, I'm going to stop talking about that now, because I'm very much looking forward to moving on and moving forward. I am so excited about the future. I'm very excited about what is next in my career. I feel like this is just the beginning, but what a fucking beginning it was. Wow. Makes me emotional. I wasn't planning on being emotional. Woo! Yeah. What a beginning. I'm so lucky. So lucky. But I had to make a decision. I hope you can respect it. And that's that. I'm very, very happy with my decision. And I know a lot of people won't be. And I get that. I was thinking about the viewers and what would they think and how would they feel. And, I don't want to let anybody down. I don't want to disappoint anybody. I know how special this show is to you, and I don't take that for granted. And that's why I had to take my time with it, see things through. But at a certain point, you got to be honest with yourself and you have to make the decisions that are best for you and your life. And that's what I did. That's what I'm going to continue to do. And I'm just excited that you guys get to be a part of that with me, because there's no better group of fans in this world than y'all. And sorry to all the other shows. and the shows that I'll be a part of in the future that are like, wait a minute, what about me? Listen, I love my future, supporters too, but like, y'all have like ride or die in the streets, bitch. I love meeting y'all. I still want to meet y'all. I still want to talk about your favorite episodes. I still want to do all of that. Everybody, behind the scenes of the show. And I am very, very proud of everything that we've done together. And yeah, that's that on that. So, woo, honey, not the one tear that is like bulbing in my eyeball that wants to drop so bad. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm a fucking Scorpio. I cry in the shower, okay? With my face under the water so that the tears just run, or I cry in the pool underwater. Always. Very water sign energy of me. Okay. Anyways, now that I have spilled my heart out to you, obviously, this is a relationship advice podcast, okay? We can't talk about me all day. We got to talk about you. You guys wrote in. Let's see what's going on in your lives this week. I feel like I haven't done a solo in so long. I'm sorry that like this was the thing that like brought us together like this, but I do feel like my intros and like the relationship shows of the week those are always like our moment to chit chat. So like you're up to date on my life. Now you're fully up to date on my life. You know all my tea. Okay. All right. Here we go. The first one. Hi, Kamie. Love your podcast. I love you too. I'd like to be anonymous. I'm in a poly relationship for the first time. I told my partner that I only wanted to be with her and not her guy. I later found out that she was married. At the beginning of our relationship, I didn't care that much because I was being casual and wasn't looking for something serious. Long story short, as time passed, more serious feelings developed, and now we love each other. My partner keeps telling me that her man is now getting jealous of the love that we share and doesn't like it, even though he was on board from the beginning with letting my girlfriend see another female. It's now at the point where I don't really want to share my girlfriend anymore, and she's contemplating if she wants to leave him or cut things off with me. This isn't the first time a conversation like this has happened, but I'm at a loss because if she does leave him, we would live together, and I'm not sure if that's how I want our journey to begin. I know she's going to feel some type of way if she doesn't leave him because they've been together for years, and I don't want her to later resent me. I want to be a choice, not an option. I'm not sure what to do as I do love and care about her deeply, but I also have some financial concerns on her end if we live together. Any advice? Well, listen, there are some poly relationships that absolutely work. I've heard about them. I've never been in one, but like they work because everybody's honest, everybody's on the same page. And from my understanding, typically like everyone is kind of dating other people as well. At least, well, I can't say everyone because every situation is different. But it sounds like it went from like a poly relationship to like you being the third wheel. And nobody likes to feel like that. Like you said, you want her to choose to be with you. You don't want to be like her second option in case she decides to get a divorce. Nobody wants that. And yeah, you are going to have to deal with the consequences and the feelings that are associated with her getting out of a relationship that clearly means a lot to her. You know, it would be a difficult decision for her to make. It's a marriage. Like you would have to pick up the pieces and help her through that, which I would assume that being in a relationship with someone who is married, choosing to only be in a relationship with that person and not their partner, you've probably already been like her earpiece, like listening to her talk and complain about her marriage to this person and like why she's unhappy and why she wants to be with you. Which I also don't think is fair to you, but I'm also considering how she probably feels. And like, you know, she thought that this was all cool and good. And then her husband's like, actually, no. Like, you like this bitch a little too much. Like, you're doing a little too much now. I think that you know in your heart of hearts what you can handle and what is best for you. And I think we also have to bear in mind that the people that we are in relationships with, whether it be poly or monogamous, when somebody tells you about their dating history, you're only really getting one side of the story. So you don't really know what her relationship is like with this other person. You never really know. You just trust that the people that you're in relationships with are being honest with you, but like there's no guarantee. So just keep that in mind. It sounds like I'm saying trust no one. I'm sure she's great, but if her finances are concerned and her husband is like the breadwinner or like financially responsible for her, like she might expect for you to also take on that work. So it's a lot to think about. You might want to take it back to like pros and cons lists, like make a Venn diagram, write it out because it sounds a little bit more complicated than what it might be just like on the surface. Yeah, it sounds, yeah, I don't know. I do feel like, not in an ultimatum type of way, but like maybe it might be best for you in order to make this decision, although you are in love with her, to take a step back and be like, You figure out what you want. I'm going to figure out what I want. And if at the end of the day you are like, no, this is what I want, then I would say fight for it. But like, how do you fight for somebody who's in a marriage? She has to make a decision for herself. And you also have to be okay with whatever that decision might be. And he's going to have to, I guess, be okay with whatever decision that might be. I don't know, child. I don't think I helped you at all. I'm sorry. I think you just need to really think about it. Think about it. Think about if it's what you really, really want. So just like decide if that's something that you're ready to do. That's my advice. That's the best I can do. I'm sorry. Okay. The next one. I became friends with someone, and after a little while, we became intimate, initiated by him. He was pretty fresh out of a relationship, and I had just gotten out of a situation myself not too long before that. I was already moving on and open to getting new experiences with new people. After we were intimate, he later told me that he realized he wasn't ready. Let me tell you something about post-nut clarity. Grow up. What? Like, this is like a thing. Have you heard of this post-nut clarity? It's like basically majority, like usually men, that like after they come, it's like, oh, I just realized I don't actually want to be in a relationship with you. I just wanted to fuck. Like, we could have had that conversation before. And then I wouldn't have been like in my feelings in this moment. You know? So stupid. Anyway, let me keep going. He told me that he was catching feelings for me, but didn't want to catch feelings for someone so soon after his relationship. Understandably so. Yeah, I would have understood it before you got on top of me. He has opened up to me about some of his mental problems that he has been dealing with for over the past few months, and I try my best to be there for him, but it's hard to be his friend when I still have feelings. Yeah. Part of me feels stupid for waiting, but the way we clicked was something I've never felt before. I don't feel like it's completely over, but who knows? Please help, bestie, and I'd like to remain anonymous. Child, listen. He's not ready for you. He is not ready for you. You can be as close of a friend as you want to be, but you need to also prepare yourself that being, quote unquote, the cool girl, the friend, the bestie to him while he's figuring out his single life post relationship could wind up with you getting your feelings hurt. Because what can happen is you now are out with him, hanging out, and you're seeing him talk to other girls. Because, and I'm not trying to like put ideas in your head and hypotheticals. This is like what I've seen with my own two eyes. Bing, 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 bing. You could be out with him, hanging out. You'll see him talking to another girl. And I was actually talking to somebody about this recently. In his mind, you could possibly be endgame. Like, you could be like the woman that he's like, this is the type of wife that I want. This is the type of relationship that I want to be in next. But I'm not ready for it because I want to get my dick wet. That's okay, by the way. As much as I hate to give men any type of pass for anything, after being in a relationship, I need you to get that shit out before you come to me. I don't want you thinking about what else is out here and what you could have had and what could, should have, blah, blah, blah. No. I want you to decide that this is where you want to be. In order to make a decision, I feel you got to test the waters a little bit. You got to see what's out there. So in his mind, you could be the person, but he's not ready. So he's going to want to, and he said he's not ready, which is also, we give him 2 points. We give him 2 points for that. For honesty, we like a transparent king, although he became transparent after you guys had sex, which is annoying. Okay. Anyway, in his mind, you could be it. So he wants to go and have fun before that happens. But if you're around when that happens, you're going to end up with your feelings hurt because you have feelings for him. And he says he has feelings for you. And he very well might, but he's not ready. So like, I would, to protect myself, just create a little bit of distance in that space. And if he's not ready and you do have feelings for him, maybe hooking up is not the best idea right now. As fun as it is, and I always say that the dick that you know is better than the dick that you don't know. And I don't know if that's what you deserve. So go have fun. ain't nobody waiting for him. So go enjoy your life. All right, let's do one more.
Hi, Kamie.
Hey.
I just wanted to start off by saying I'm such a big fan of yours.
Thank you, boo.
So, my name is Hildana, and I am 24 years old right now. And my 24th years of living, like I've never been in an actual relationship. It's only been like for hookups and stuff like that. So, like, lately I've been feeling like it's time for me to settle down, but at the same time I'm scared to settle down because looking at some people, they're not faithful to their partner at all. So I'm scared I would fall into that kind of trap. What kind of advice would you give for a girl that's new to a relationship to look out for in a partner?
That's a good question. First and foremost, I don't know where you live, but 24, in my mind, this is me talking as your almost 32-year-old big sister. 24 is not the year to settle down, bitch. 24 is the year to amp it up. Have fun. Like, you can be in relationships, but like, why do we have it in our minds that we have to, like, settle down at 24? Girl, your frontal lobe hasn't even developed yet. Let me tell you something. Hit me up next year. When you turn 25 and your frontal lobe goes boing, and you're like, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. You will literally have a moment where you're like, I liked this person. You won't even like the way that people smell. Like it's your brain completely transforms. It's like an awakening. It's like your third eye just like pooh opens. That is for women, post-nut clarity. 25 is post-nut clarity for women. Enjoy your life. If you meet someone, great. If you don't, perfectly fine. I am meeting more and more women now who are in their late 20s who have never been in committed relationships. Now, a lot of times when I talk to them, they're like, is that a red flag? Like, to men, if I've never been in a relationship. Now, y'all know everything I do is for the bitches. There is nothing that could be a red flag to a man about you never having been in a relationship. I'm sorry. Straight men barely have any red flags as it is. They don't see shit, okay? I'm speaking for all of them right now, and luckily only like 2% of them listen to this podcast. But like, they don't think the way that we think. Like, for us, if I was dating a guy who was in his 40s and he had never been in a long relationship, had never, been married or like had a kid, to me, that would be a red flag. If I'm in my 20s and I meet a guy who's 25 and he's never had a girlfriend, maybe it would be a red flag, maybe not. To a man, you never having a boyfriend, for them, and they're like weird, like praise the virgins mindset, they would be like, a woman who's just for me, who's never been touched by another man's hands. They're like delusional. So like, no, it's not, there's no problem. It's okay. And frankly, as a girl who's in a very happy, healthy relationship, I've seen what's out here. This dating pool is garbage. It's garbage, trash, basura. Okay? Caca. No bueno. I know that a lot of girls who are more than like capable, ready to be in a loving relationship, loving partnership, are deciding not to because of the options that are out there. I'm not just saying that like girls are perfect, but we are. So I feel like it's okay if you don't want to just be with anybody. I think that's perfectly fine and actually should be encouraged. However, if you do decide that that's what you want to do, if you do decide that you want to get into a relationship, I think you need to be very clear on your boundaries, what those are, what you will and won't accept. Some of those things do come with being in relationships that point things out to you. I mean, every relationship that I've ever been in, that's why I always say that I don't regret anything in my life. I don't, except for not studying abroad. But that's like behind me now. Okay. I should have studied abroad. I wish I would have went to London. That's beside the point. I didn't even have the opportunity. And I mean, even if I did, I didn't sign up. Like, it's my fault. But other than that, I don't have any regrets. I feel that every relationship that I have been in has taught me something about myself, and taught me things that I will and won't accept in the future. You do have to go through some of those experiences yourself to know that. But then there's also like, you can look at your friends' relationships, at your parents' relationships, and take from them and be like, I don't want that. This is what I want. I want this. So anything that doesn't look like this is out of it for me. And without being too rigid and not allowing grace for people, I think that you can cherry pick from other people's situations and figure out what you like and what you don't like. But I don't think men are looking like, she's never been in a relationship. Ugh. I don't think women are either. I don't think anybody is in today's world. Like, it's a common thing. You're not alone. It's perfectly okay. And at 24, it's giving child bride. You don't need to be, married off. It's okay. I do also have friends who've been married at 24 and like they're very happy and love that for them. But I don't think that it's something that like is do or die. In different cultures, it's totally different. I understand that. Respect it 1000%. But that frontal lobe ain't coming in until your 25th birthday. It's going to strike at midnight. You're going to be like, oh, remember I told you. Anyways, y'all, wow, what a roller coaster of events this has been today. I feel like I could nap for 30 hours. I'm very happy that we had this conversation. In my mind right now, I'm very like content with everything. And again, thank you so, so much for everything. Thank you for everything. Thank you for understanding me and seeing me, and knowing me and my character, the type of person that I am. I think I've been very, very consistent. And know that at the end of the day, like what I said in my statement is true. I have only ever wanted to make people feel good. Like, I've only ever wanted to make people feel seen and heard. A lot of people may not know this, but like I watch or did watch every single cut of Catfish. Every single one. It was like producer Kamie had on fully. That's a lot of episodes to watch the cut and to live tweet, by the way. But it was worth it to me because if we were ever talking about a topic or something sensitive, I wanted to make sure that we're speaking of things in the way that the people who can relate to it deserve to receive it. It doesn't matter what it is. Black issues, queer issues, trigger warning, sexual assault, any kind of heavy topic or conversation that could be useful. I have always wanted to make it translate and be as relatable to the people that it is speaking to and the people that it's not speaking to be able to have a certain level of understanding as possible. And I would give notes, not in an annoying way. Like producers and I who like cut the show, we had a very tight relationship and they appreciated me doing that, because if there was ever a moment where something extra needed to be said or something needed to be dubbed in to like define a term or explain something a little bit further, like that is always where I'm trying to go with things. I want to make things clear. I want to make things teachable, and I'm going to keep doing that. So, these are the things that you may not see when you watch the show, but like it was happening. It was happening. So I care deeply, and I'm going to continue to keep doing that. That's just me. That's my style. That's my vibe. And yeah, I'll say that I'll miss y'all, but like we're not going anywhere because we're here. We're not going anywhere. You're gonna see me everywhere else, everywhere else, as you always have. This time a little bit more so now. And yes, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening to this episode all the way through. Some of y'all left when, the Catfish tea was over, but for those of you who are still here, thank you. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.